Terrible shirt.
Thank you.
Three Tremors.
I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, that shit is so bad.
There goes monetization.
What?
You can't curse in the first 2 minutes.
Well, he's not even live yet, is it?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
live. Where is? Oh, here it is. Should I play the new intro, Stan?
There's a new
Yeah,
intro.
go ahead. Go for it, man.
Maybe I'll play the new intro. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What are we, Muppets now?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
God,
no, I have a better intro. This is good.
it's the Muppet Show theme. Boom, 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 boom.
That would be cool.
Oh come on!
She said, I am the one who dance both rock and roll.
What the hell is this?
She told me her name is Billie Jean, and she caused the scene that every hater think I stole dreamed of in the wild.
Where'd you find Iron Sheik's second cousin twice removed?
A big promise told me.
Is that a baritone horn doing the bass line?
Yeah, I think so.
Youngers' hearts and models told me, be
What is
careful,
this,
you
the
know.
Middle Eastern version of Eurovision or something?
Cloud gangster, hey, Bill Jean, not my love.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Allah and the Huak Bars.
And that I am the one. But the cat is not my son.
I don't know. I think he's pretty good.
She said I am the one.
It's almost like Michael Jackson's ear.
But the cat is not my son.
Bro, he's got like Dragon Ball Z style
Not
pointy
my
ass
love.
ears.
Oh!
Oh. Welcome to Rat Salad Review. That's the intro for this week.
All right.
What's everybody been doing? I mean, since last week. Is everybody okay? Is everything going okay? Everybody all right? I know somebody had a birthday. Somebody in here had a birthday. Little birthday boy, Stanley. Happy birthday, Stanley.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Live
Appreciate
in
it.
Azu. What?
Happy birthday, Stan.
Happy birthday, Stan.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
How old are we now, Stan?
18.
What are you, like 42, 43?
Oh my God.
I could feel it in my knees.
How old are you? Your thing stopped.
Shut the fuck up.
How old are you?
39.
39? All right. Happy
Mm.
birthday. You're getting old. You're catching up to us.
Yeah.
Catman is here. Hello, Catman.
What's up, cat man?
Roll the goddamn intro. I just did. I just played it. That's the new one.
Yeah, that was Allah and the Huak Bars.
We have to get him to cover Shandy to make Catman happy.
And dear tonight must last us forever. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Is that
God,
like
I can't
wrong?
even remember that guy. I can't even imagine that guy trying to do the falsetto on the chorus.
Shandy.
Every week there should be like some ridiculous intro.
I could
There-
arrange that. That can happen. I just hope we don't get copyrighted now for that because it did
Oh.
sound like the song a little bit. Who knows?
I mean, I would have known it was.
Well, it's a parody, kind of, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm
That's a
not
very
really
nice way to put it, Greg. A parody.
Not really. Catman says if you guys better be over 18 or I'm out of here. Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Hey, dude, we're good, dude. This is not the bicycle shop on Different Strokes.
And we don't highlight emo bands on this show, so don't worry, we're groomer free.
I saw that episode not too long ago, and I forgot about it really until I watched it. And I'm like, oh man, that was bad. That
You know
really-
what's funny is I only ever saw that once. It's just so dark and powerful. It's just like burned in my memory. I mean, that was really a step forward for television there. It was pretty disturbing.
It really was. And then watching it now, it's even harder to watch it now because
Well, yeah, you have kids.
Well, it was a black guy with, I mean, a white guy with a black kid. So that's even worse. You know,
I suppose.
an older white man.
Well, they're all human beings. He's a
Yes, that is
pedophile.
true.
What's the difference?
That is true. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Different Strokes. Although I do
Oh
love
God, that
show.
episode. Oh yeah,
You
that
just
was-
didn't realize what we're talking about?
I didn't realize you were talking about Different Strokes. Yeah, that episode creeped the hell
Oh.
out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah. No, it's still disturbing, even as
it-
an adult.
It's bad enough my mom would never let me go out, and that show made me never want to go out.
Or go to a bike shop.
Hell, I didn't even want to learn how to ride a bike.
Thankfully,
That's
I
tough,
did know
man.
the guy who did own the bike shop because he was from his family was from my parents' island. So, you know,
That's pretty neat.
Interesting. Stan,
not
have you
really,
ever-
but
have you ever seen that episode, Stan?
Never watched the show.
Never watched the show.
you never watched Different Strokes.
Never
Wow.
watched the show.
You're talking about
ne-
Stanley.
I was
never
waiting for
watched-
someone to
I
say
never
it. Thank you,
watched
Greg.
any sitcoms.
Well, you know what,
Never
Stan?
watched any
Forget
sitcoms.
about tonight's show. Let's watch the Different Strokes episode.
No, we're not watching the very special edition.
Well, I mean, at least it's a good one, and we're not watching them talk about drunk driving or whatever stupid crap it was on Full House.
That was a good show too, though.
I don't remember that, but I remember the
Eh.
I remember the episode on Family Ties, the one where Alex's friend passes away because of an accident because he wasn't there to help
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Some fine acting by Michael J. Fox back then.
Oh, he was great. Even
Mm-hmm.
even before he really got popular, he was really good in Class of '84. Even though
Yeah,
he didn't
what
have
an
a very
underrated
big
film.
role. Yeah, that's a great movie.
You know, the funny thing is Timothy Van Patten, like now he's like a big like television director, and he hates that film. I'm like, bro, that's how I know you.
Yeah, I know. He won't even talk about it or like say why he dislikes it. He's just like, nope. Like, I mean,
Schmuck.
Tom Fisher hates Cold Lake, but at least he says why. He's just sick of talking about it.
There you go.
Catman, just one Venom question today. What does Greg think of Cast in Stone? He thinks it slays. I actually do like that album. That's my first Venom album I bought.
Cast in Stone, that's a reunion one from '96, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Well, they came back 15 years later and actually knew how to play their
Yeah.
instruments. So
Yes.
you got a completely different dimension to Venom's rawness. I mean, a buddy of mine, one of my favorite things he ever said was Abaddon couldn't keep time in a room full of clocks back in the 80s. And as much as I like those albums and I like Tony Bray, he's a great guy, that's it's kind of true.
Yeah. Yeah. But that Cast in Stone's good. Trying to think what the hell. There was a
Cast
song
in
there I
Stone's a
really
great
liked.
album, yeah.
I can't remember which song I really liked in that, but yeah, it's a good one.
I really didn't dislike anything they did up until it turned into Kronos Presents Venom.
Mm,
It like I know he was one of the originators of Venom, but that Venom turned too much into like his solo band after that happened.
yeah.
Mm.
Not that it necessarily needs Montaz or Abaddon in it, but Kronos just needed to take it in a slightly different direction. That's all.
Can't remember what song. It doesn't matter. Stan, are you a fan of Venom?
You know what? I heard like their older stuff a really long time ago, but I don't remember much of it though.
No.
So
Do me a favor.
Listen
Yeah.
to Angel
Leave
Dust.
the Zoom and come back.
yeah,
Your internet
Okay.
connection is terrible.
Stop.
No. I'm serious. He keeps cutting in and out.
oh my.
Oh,
My
that's
internet-
why. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me try. Let me try to fix it.
Yeah,
Okay.
come back. All right. But yeah,
Yeah,
we should.
sometimes that works.
We really need to do Venom and we need to do Slayer. It's like two bands that we have not gotten to.
Yeah, that shocks me. You've never spoken about Slayer on the show,
No.
but you never struck me as a Slayer fan. Greg, yes, I could see that.
Greg
You
is.
know,
I like Slayer. I have all the albums. I like songs. I'm not like a full-on Slayer fan, but I like them.
Slayer.
You know, I don't get that crazy about them.
My first time seeing them was my wife's first time seeing them.
Really?
And she's like, I don't know who to be more scared of, Dimmu Borgir or them. I'm like, probably them because they're not wearing makeup.
No, plus Dimmu Borgir, seriously, compared to Slayer.
Well,
I
I
would
like
actually-
Dimmu. I mean, I
choose
love the
Dimmu
album.
over Slayer.
No, I'm talking about who to be scared of. I mean, Demue's like again a Roger Corman movie. You know, Slayer seems serious.
Yeah, that's true. That's more Lucio Fulci film. I get that. But I mean, I do like the album Enthroned Darkness Triumphant. I think that's a great album and probably one of the better black metal-ish albums of the 90s. I mean, it's more symphonic with like, screeching vocals at this point, but whatever.
Wow.
By the way, one thing we didn't mention last week, which now that I know Greg was a fan back in the day, rest in peace to Sabu, Terry Brunk. Well, one of
Yes.
my favorite wrestlers from ECW, and
Yeah, mine
someone
too.
I was very happy to say that I've seen live in performance, and the guy was a death-defying, acrobatic wonder to behold.
Oh yeah, he was one of the most exciting wrestlers ever. I think.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on the show, you knew you were going to get a good show, or at least a good match with him. Because pretty much everything that he did was it was crazy. You didn't know what he was going to do. You didn't know where a chair was going to fly if it accidentally came into the audience, and hit you. Or, it's
Oh, and then just how acrobatic he was, man. I mean, some of my favorite matches are when they pit him against RVD. They'd be wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Those are some of my favorites.
I have a funny Sabu story. So this was November of 1988 at the Elks Lodge. The main event was Dreamer versus Van Dam for the World Television title. And of course, Sabu does the run in, lays a table. So like I'm on the floor, I'm behind the guardrail. The security's backing us up. Sabu lays a table out in front, puts Dreamer on it. Sabu does the triple leap jump where he runs onto the ropes. No, he runs onto to the chair, onto the ropes, and then jumps over, crashes Dreamer through a table right in front of me.
Wow.
And I was like, I went full Joey Styles. I was like, oh my God. So that was awesome. Unfortunately, I did see that last match, that retirement match of his with Joey Janela from Game Changer
Jelly-
Wrestling.
Jelly
Jelly
Janela.
Nutella, as Jim Cornette calls him, rightfully so. He shouldn't have done that match.
No.
I felt so bad for Sabu. And apparently they're saying it was Kraton that killed him. Meanwhile, Kraton is a chemical, is a substance, is a vitamin that you could buy at a vitamin shop or at a gas station or whatever. I mean, look, I'm not saying.
Wasn't he from Superman?
Kratom. Okay, I've been trying to figure out what the hell you were talking about since last week. Kratom. Got it.
Right. Look, I'm not saying I'd buy any of those freaking ED pills from the gas station, but if Sabu was trying to get off pain medicine and he went to Kratom, it was legal, so maybe it did help him. But I mean, he was on spaghetti legs the whole time, guys. Like I felt, it hurt me to watch him, and I was like, this is not the Sabu I want to remember. Well, unfortunately, now it is a Sabu I'm going to remember because he's gone.
I didn't even want to watch it. But I am very thankful that Sabu was actually in one of my band's videos. Thanks to Eric Adams, our friend. And he got him in the video there. And he does like a little fireball thing, which is pretty cool. So I thank him for doing that.
Video of this.
Project Resurrect.
That's better, Stan.
I forget what the name of the song is, but if you just look up Project Resurrect, you'll actually I used Sabu as the picture of the song, so you'll find
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Oh, but one of my neighbors is definitely making craft dinner. I might have to take a little walk.
Say, Terrence, I was about to make a craft dinner.
Well,
You
before
were
you
just
walk,
waiting for one of us to say that.
before you walk off, let's get the show going. And today we're going to talk about our favorite side projects.
Woo!
So, Stan, this is something that was on your list of ideas for us to do. And since you were the birthday boy,
Oh,
go
God.
ahead. Come on, birthday boy.
You're just putting me on the spot like that. Oh my
Yeah.
God. All right. I'm gonna start with Psycho Motel.
Okay.
Uh, so it's for those who don't know, it's Adrian Smith's little side project that he one of his side projects that he started after Maiden, and I have the CD right here. I don't know if you could actually see
Nah,
that. It's
Nope.
the green
disappeared.
The
screen is
green
like
screen
Yeah.
hiding it.
ruined it.
All right. Anyway, uh, so the first album had this other singer on it, which was like a very he had like a very Robert Planty kind of voice, very high, very bluesy. This guy though on this album, very laid back, very chill. I have no doubt that if this album actually came out much earlier, like just a few years earlier, then like it would have been probably really popular. Would have been big
Mm.
because all the songs are really, really, really catchy and very well written. I mean, it's Adrian. Of course they're going to be well written.
Mm.
But the vocals are, they're not like typical rock vocals. They're very like laid back.
Who's the singer?
Some guy named Andy.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know because I've never
Hi,
heard.
Andy, if you're
He's-
watching.
He's got the CD right in front of him.
I know. Is that-
Hold on. It
Great.
doesn't. Hold on. It doesn't say. Let me see. But I've never heard this guy actually do
Andy Macon. Yeah,
Andy
he's
Macon. I've never heard this guy actually do anything before Psycho Motel or afterwards. So as far as I know, he just like disappeared into obscurity. But he's obviously a really talented singer, and it's just like one of the highlights of the album is his voice.
mm,
But also, it's got this like very like this like quasi grunge sound to it
mhm.
that I really like. That's not depressing, but it sounds really really tight. It sounds really good. It's just I don't know. There's not a song on here that I do not like. Everything sounds great. Everything sounds catchy. Everything sounds memorable, and I hope you guys pick it up. Though it's worth a listen.
Very cool. He did not go into obscurity. He actually has a band called 9 Miles Down.
Is
And
that
appar-
new?
And apparently it's from 2016 to present. So apparently he's still going around with this band.
Hmm.
All right.
He's got one album. It was released in 2018 called
But
Fractures.
yeah, I liked Psycho Motel. I think I still have them both on my hard drive. I just would have never thought of that as a side project because he wasn't in Maiden anymore. That was kind of like his new band. But thanks for reminding me.
Well, I mean, he'll always be associated with Maiden. I mean, he's back in Maiden now, so I'll allow it. Although I think it's a shame that
I wasn't saying I had a problem with what he picked.
No, of course,
I
no, I
never
know.
thought of that. That's all.
I just think it's a shame though that like both Psycho Motel albums are completely out of print. And I think what's even more tragic, before Psycho Motel was launched, I think he had some of the same band members in a group called the Untouchables, who performed one show, I think, for like either Metal Hammer or Kerrang. It was one of them. And they released one single called City of Dreams, and I absolutely love it. It's like, melodic hard rock. I'm not going to call it AOR. I mean, it's just really good melodic hard rock, and it was a catchy single. And I only heard it like a couple of years ago for the first time, and I was like, I'm biased. I fully admit it. Adrian is my favorite Iron Maiden member. I love his songwriting. I love his guitar playing. Dave Murray's the GOAT, because he was there from the beginning. And like without Dave Murray, it wouldn't be Maiden, especially because of the way he plays. But I feel like Adrian adds so much to Maiden's music. And, I'm glad that he has the Smith Kotzen side project so he could you know, get his creativity out that he can't get in Maiden because it's two completely different styles. But I think he should be recognized more for his talent. Absolutely.
There's a wonderful ballad on this album called "With You Again," and Dave Murray's got a solo on it. It's awesome. It's just so it definitely, this album is definitely worth a listen. So there's about like, I got a couple bonus tracks here. One of them is a Bob Dylan cover, which is actually done very, very well. Um, but there's not a single weak song here, in my opinion. Like everything just sounds very well written and very memorable. I kind of wish that he did another one with this guy, with this singer Andy. But apparently Adrian didn't believe in himself too much as a band leader. As somebody who can just take the band further. So I guess he just decided to disband it totally. So I don't know. He doesn't have the charisma that like Bruce has. Or I guess Steve.
Yeah, he seems
No,
to be quick to just give up on something, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Wayne, look at what we go through as an independent band. We
Yeah.
do everything ourselves, and everyone's like, well, why did you do this? Oh, why'd you do that? And it's like, hey, we do what we can with what we got, and if we had to do all that stuff, I mean, it would put a lot more pressure on us. Yeah, I think it would make us resent the music and our talents. So, hey, at least he was able to put it out. And then, like, a couple of years later, he was able to reunite with Bruce and be his side man for a solo project. And it's not like he's suffering now. He's back in Maiden,
Mm-hmm.
and they're bigger than they ever been.
Mm.
But again, like I said, this isn't just like something that he did just because he's bored or something to pass the time. This is really strong music. This is the songwriting is strong, and it's something that definitely should have continued. Instead of just fading away. You know what I mean? So it's just there's nothing that Adrian that ever did that doesn't sound good. Everything
No.
he does sounds good. Everything, and this is probably one of those like least known things that he's done, but it's also for me one of the most memorable. So yeah, it's a shame that it just didn't continue, but it is what it is. I could always spin this album, forever and enjoy it. So
I never
yeah.
heard either one of these.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of forgot about them.
It's nice. It's melodic hard rock mixed with some. It's got some like grungy undertones, but it's really really cool.
It had more of a harder alternative edge to it, but songwriting wise, I'd say it's still pretty similar to ASAP, which he did before that. But it dropped a lot of that grandiosity from the '80s. I think it works better for his music, honestly.
Well, ASAP was more like AOR, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was melodic soft rock basically. It had more in common with Journey.
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
Yeah.
He didn't say no Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly Michael McDonald, but but there's more than a passing resemblance to Raised on Radio, which I love.
All right.
The prices for this is insane, though. I can't even get
Even
it.
on Discogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got the Sanctuary Records issue of it. It's from 2006. So they stopped making it
that's
completely.
right. I forgot they reissued that.
Yeah, and it's got 15 tracks in here, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got lucky there. I mean, there's
A
nothing
fun
really like
album.
under $40. It's crazy.
Honestly, if this thing came out, like I don't know, at the height of grunge, maybe early '90s, it would have had far more recognition, no doubt.
Quite possible. I mean,
that's how strong it is. Like, I don't know, it's just my opinion, but like, I love the album. I love the album.
I mean,
And
I was looking for the Fanta Blue CD built for I forgot what it was called, but it features George's old guitar player from Taz, Karen, on it. Like, you got to spend a minimum of like $75 for a CD copy of that, and somehow I was able to get my own copy. I won't tell you how, but you know.
Wait, Phantom Blue, the 4 chicks?
Well, it's 5 chicks. Karen Kreitzer.
I have that. Yeah.
Yeah, Karen
That's a great
Kreitzer
record.
on the second album replaced the other guitarist, not Michelle Meldrum, who ended up marrying John Norum, who passed away, rest in peace. Not John Norum, Michelle, but she replaced the other guitar player, so she was pretty much like solely the rhythm, and she did a couple of solos here and there. But great album. But yeah, it's a shame that so many like overlooked hard rock and metal albums from the early 90s, well, from the 90s in general, out of print. And like, you got to spend like kidney loads just to get a used copy.
Gotta hope that High Roller Records starts reissuing some more stuff.
Which one?
High Roller.
Oh.
Yeah. High Roller is great. Music on vinyl too. I like them both a lot.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of reissues,
Good to know I'm not the only one that remembers Phantom Blue though. I love that first album.
Good stuff.
Speaking of reissues, they're reissuing the Iron Men, the original Iron Men album. You know what that is?
That's Dennis Stratton and Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of crap. The same 10 tracks Lee Hart wrote for On Target by Fastway that he had them redo, and then had a bunch of other guys, including Di'Anno, guest on for All Stars of the new wave of British heavy metal. Yeah.
Not a fan?
No, because as much as I love Fast Eddie Clarke and Fastway, Lee Hart was not a good songwriter for the most part. And, literally, it's not like he came up with anything new for them compilations. I feel like they're kind of a ripoff. He ended up managing Paul and Dennis and just took these songs he had already written and owned for that Fastway LP and just had them redo them. It's a cash grab, nothing more. I mean, I suppose the tunes kind of fit Stratton's style a little bit, but Di'Anno had no business singing any of that shit.
No, I heard it for the first time the other day. I'm like, oh, because I've always seen it, but it looks so ridiculous, that front cover. I was like, I'm not buying this. It just looks stupid. It looks like it sounds
terrible. It really is.
It really does look like what it sounds, and I'm glad I didn't buy it.
It's finally the only thing I know Stratton for, other than the first Maiden album. He did one Praying Mantis album and tour with Clive Burr on drums, and he was a guitarist in Lionheart for like 20 years.
Yeah.
But I never heard anything from Lionheart or saw anything from them until I found out after Dennis had left them. So great job to the marketing department for that band.
Di'Anno also sang for Mantis on that tour. That Live at Last record is killer.
But the singer on that Praying Mantis tour was actually Gary Barden from MSG, and it was pretty good. I mean, he fit it like that. My voice just cracked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
You just hit puberty. It's pretty good.
It was pretty good. Party on.
Kind of fit with the bike shop theme.
Hey, hey, nothing happened at that bike shop. Move on.
All right, go ahead, Lou. Who's your pick?
No, he said nothing happened at the bike shop, and then his voice cracked, and I just remembered one of the worst songs of the 80s. That dude Jerome, we don't have to take our clothes off, but drink some cherry wine.
And then it took that idiot from Fall Out Boy to do a redo of that song with the Gym Class Heroes. Anyway.
Oh, God. I forgot.
All right,
ahead, Lou.
I'm speeding it up. Okay, so my first pick for favorite side project. Now, I'm a huge fan of the band Tool. That being said,
You are a tool.
I know when A Perfect Circle came out, I didn't know what to expect. Apparently, from what I heard, it was supposed to be almost like an exploration of Maynard's like Tool is supposed to be like his masculine, like, you know, side, and apparently Perfect Circle was supposed to be like the yin to that yang. But I remember when I was in college radio and Virgin Records gave us a copy of Judith, the first single. And it was actually on a 45. So they gave us a 45 version of the single, and I was shocked at how good it was. It kind of reminded me of like if Tool and The Cure meshed, like if Tool had more of like the goth pop sensibilities of what The Cure were doing, a la Pornography or Disintegration. So I was like, wow, if this single's good, I can only imagine what the rest of the album sounds like. And Mare de Gnomes was like my soundtrack for like a good year, until I saw them in concert in March of 2001 at the Hammerstein Ballroom, with Snake River Conspiracy opening. And you know, they sounded as good live as they did on record. I think Billy Howardell is a freaking genius on guitar. And yeah, who else was in the band at the time? Josh Freese, who just got fired from the Foo Fighters. Fuck you, Dave Grohl, you piece of shit. Stop fucking other women behind your wife's back and worry about finding a good drummer. Oh, you had one and you blew it. Like you blew your marriage, dick. Anyways,
I wonder what that's all about anyway.
Dave Grohl's a fucking punk ass. Anyways, but yeah, and Troy Van Leeuwen, who ended up joining Queens of the Stone Age on guitar, and Paisley Compton on bass and violin. What a great debut album. And future releases, although I wouldn't put them up with Mare de Gnomes until in terms of like perfection, but they still have some great songs on there, like Weak and Powerless, and but definitely go for that first album. I love it.
Cool. Greg.
1 second here. Sorry, I was reading an email that came across. So, more of a Metalploitation album than a true side project, but this is one of my favorite records of all time. Come on, this stupid thing. And
the green screen is not our friend on Zoom.
No. Great. Now I can't remember how to turn it off. This is just lovely.
Go to video.
And
go to video settings and click none for your background. No, not sideways.
Advanced. No, damn it. I want to do.
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
Can't you just hold it sideways?
He just did go sideways.
And it didn't work?
No, my favorite side project is Project Resurrect. No. With Sabu in the music video. Yeah. Rest in peace, Sabu.
Rest in peace, Project Resurrect.
What? You're joking, right?
No, probably not.
All
right, let me see something here because this is really pissing me off.
Have Alex redo the vocals on Project Resurrect. We'll release it as a Severed Angel album.
I wish.
Where is this damn button? There it is. None. Anyway,
there you go.
Exorcist Nightmare Theater.
The fuck is that?
Speed metal. So this is, well, I have the European version just because Roadrunner had better vinyl than Cobra out of Canada did, and it's thicker. But this is one of the first releases on Cobra Records in Canada to make it look like they had a full roster. And this is actually the Noble Savage lineup of Virgin Steel recording a speed metal album under fake names.
That's cool.
I never would have guessed you'd like something like that. Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, it's speed metal. It's badass. Virgin Steel's terrible. You know, this is the best thing they ever did. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious they didn't quite get the whole evil concept because about half of the album's just random crap here about the devil and horror movies, and the other half is quite clearly what one of them heard about the Crucible in English class.
What's the name of the album?
Nightmare Theater. And there is actually an awesome reissue of this, both on CD and vinyl by High Roller Records, that has a ton of bonus stuff, essay on the album, bonus track, remastered sound. It's just awesome.
Unfortunately, this is not available on streaming media.
It's gotta be on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll definitely be on YouTube. Doesn't surprise me too much. It's not available on streaming, but I mean, yeah, you know, it's like full on. You could even call it thrash, kind of like Metal Blade Slayer, even a little bit of Possessed Seven Churches, which why it kind of shocked me to learn it was Virgin Steel later on. I was like, what? But yeah, that's one of those I bought for the cover and fell in love with it.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, lyrically it isn't exactly brilliant, but for a metalploitation album, as they like to call them, it's certainly better than the first Pile Driver record as far as the music goes.
I'm listening to it now. It sounds pretty cool. I'll check it out when I
no, it's a really good record, and they never actually got to do the follow-up under the Exorcist title because they needed another album to put out on Cobra. So they took the songs, retitled the band as Original Sin, and had David DeFeus' sister sing it. And that's also really good, but I prefer the gravelly vocals and the megawatt mayhem of Exorcist.
Cool.
Catman would like it a lot, actually. Definitely some
sounds pretty cool
influence in there.
Most of my picks aren't really like obscure things. Maybe
scary fucking cover, by the way.
Might be a couple different.
I know, right? It's pretty wild.
Was that anybody in the band? Like, did they dress up as that, or is that just
like it's them wearing masks?
Oh, it is them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cobra didn't have a lot of money. I mean, a lot of this is pretty much just involved the different band members or I can't remember the label owner's name for the life of me, but
Don Arden.
Yeah. No, if it was Don Arden, he would have written down the measurements for the masks and meters, and they would just be gigantic.
Oh God. Which, by the way, they're officially remixing that. And Ian Gillan had to say these two words. Thank God.
Dude, I love when Blabbermouth interviewed him. He's like, no, I never said I broke the record. I threw it out my car window, though.
Somebody probably picked it up and took it home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they thought they were done with everything. They left to start the tour. They came back, and then all of a sudden the record's out with a completely different mix. I'd have been upset too.
Still love that record. All right, Wayne, your turn.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. There's this band here. They're called Parish. It's the same. Actually, it's the same album. This is a reissue. It's got some bonus tracks on it, but they're called Parish. And the guitar player, Ben Jackson, used to be or still is in Crimson Glory. And after Crimson Glory released what the hell is that album, Strange and Beautiful, I believe it's Strange and Beautiful. Yeah, I think it was Strange and Beautiful. They released this band Parish, and this is the album that should have came after Transcendence and not Strange and Beautiful, because that sounds nothing like Crimson Glory. But this is closer sounding to Crimson Glory than that album is.
So it's a much better album than Astronomica?
Way better. Astronomica is terrible. It's a terrible, terrible album. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that like Wade Black as a vocalist, but he's just not good. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I just
wouldn't
think he was
call it
produced
terrible,
horribly
but
on
I'm
that.
not yeah,
Everything is
that's what I
produced
was
horribly.
gonna
It's
say.
just terrible. But yeah, this band, this one's really good. The vocalist is good too. Music's really good. It's like I said, it's very close to Crimson Glory. And if you haven't heard it, check it out. It's
What's the name of that album?
the album's called Envision.
Envision. Okay.
Envision, yeah. It's the only one they ever released too. So it's typical of Ben Jackson. He just does something and then that's the end of it. Which is what happened to Crimson Glory. But now they're back again. So hopefully they actually finish an album. So
For how long we don't know.
yeah. All right, Stan. Got something else?
All right, so my next pick got Casualties of Cool. This is one of Devin Townsend's countless fucking weird projects, but this one stands out to me the most. Devin for me is like, he's very hit or miss. But this one is like, it just sounds like what do you call it? It's more of like a country influenced album. It's like all of that ethereal, spacey wall of sound stuff that he's known for. Like, he kind of meshes that with, the country bluesy twangy stuff. It's like Johnny Cash in space. It's like haunted cowboy floating through the void.
It's an interesting way
That's
to describe that.
it's really interesting. It's really unique, but it's also very
The Lone Ranger riding shotgun to Buckaroo Banzai. Got it.
yes, but it's also like a concept album about like like somebody hearing a voice through a radio on some alien planet. I don't I don't pay attention to concept albums. I don't know, but the songwriting is really 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 interesting. It's very melodic. It's very catchy,
Mm.
and I think it's really unique. It's proggy. It's like space country prog. I don't know what it is. Like Devin. He's like
It's music for astronauts.
It's
basically.
music. It's music for space cowboys, and it's like it's very meditative.
Paging
It's
Cowboy Bebop.
it's atmospheric. It's moody, but it's also again it's like very very unique, and it's worth looking into. It's also it's got female vocals on it, and um Shay Amy Dorval, I think that's her name. She's like a relatively unknown singer, and from Canada, and she has a very beautiful voice, and I really think you guys should check it out if you're into this sort of thing. I mean,
What's the name of it again?
Casualties of Cool.
Casualties of Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you guys know Devin Townsend. He's kind of like very
It's weird.
eccentric and
Yeah, you can't put him in a box, which is
Yeah.
what I love about him. I mean, he wrote some great stuff with Steve Vai. My only problem is I'm not a fan of the production on that album because I hate the fact that you got Terry Bozzio, who's one of the greatest drummers ever. And Wayne, you know that problem that you have with electric drum kits?
Mhm.
That's the problem with this album.
He uses electric.
It's a complete electric drum kit. It does
They
not
got
sound
Bozio to play electric drums. That's wild.
well. Maybe they programmed it electric and they just said, "Okay, we'll keep that mix," but that's not Bozzio playing on it. It just sounds eh.
what is that? Is that are you talking about like Sex and Religion or something?
Yeah,
That's like from like fucking over 30 years ago.
I know, but I wanted to love that album, but the drums just sounded so whack on it. But then his stuff with Strapping Young Lad, great. I love Devin Townsend's new album. I think it's one of the best I've heard in a long time. I love the work that he did with Guar on Beyond Hell. I love the work he did with Stuck Mojo too. Yeah, he's great and Strapping Young Lad, of course, he's one of those guys you just can't put him in a box, and I really admire that about him.
I think having a female singer was the right choice with this. Like I know he usually sings on all this stuff, but you know, I think like she adds this like certain dimension to the writing, to the sound, and that makes it extra unique, I guess. Anyway, you guys should check it out. It's it's something different, and it's definitely not metal, but it is unique, and it's really interesting, and still very melodic. But and it's Devin Townsend, that guy. I don't think that guy, you know, ever releases something that's like boring.
No.
Maybe very different, but like it's not. I like that he puts like his whole like heart and soul into every single thing that he does. Like everything means something. Like he doesn't just wing it. You know what I mean? He just puts everything he has into his work, and it's evident here. So
Very cool.
By the way, I really love your Rick Moranis shirt.
Yes, I was gonna say, are you the gatekeeper?
thank you. Yes.
I thought that was Belushi for a second, but I was like, oh no, it's Rick Moranis.
Oh, that's Vince Glortho.
Oh, Keymaster of Gozer.
Go ahead.
Would you like some coffee? Yes, have some.
Yes.
I didn't realize that's one way to eat pizzas, putting it on the side of your face. Good stuff. All right. Good pick,
Thousands
Stan.
knew what it was like to be a slore that day, I'll tell you.
That whole speech was amazing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like engulfed with what he was saying. Then when I was old enough to understand what he was saying, I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Sounds like he heard a bunch of Lovecraft references and tried to pronounce them as good as he could.
Yeah, gotta give it up to the writers of that film. They definitely aced it. All right, my pick. So this CD came out in '86. It was, I guess, at the time, well, it was to be just a one-off album from two current members of Anthrax at the time and their former bass player. And when I heard
85, but
it was 85, okay,
yeah.
All right, thank you. And when I heard this album for the first time ever in 1999, I was like, this is the most offensive album I've ever heard, and I love it.
Yes, may I entertain you with a few bars?
Please do.
Fuck the Middle East.
Oh,
There's
God.
too many problems. They just get in the way. We sure could live without them.
You couldn't sing
hijack all our
Princess
planes.
Blues?
They raise our oil prices, so let's kill them all and have a ball and end this fucking crisis.
Oh, I'm never gonna get a job.
Yeah.
Anyway,
honestly, my favorite though, Freddy Krueger. I love that song. He's coming for you. What will you do? He'll slash you. He'll cut you. He'll rip you in two.
My favorite still has to be Pre-Menstrual Princess Blues because it's just so wrong in so many ways. Oh, you're hungry, are you? Well, come here, Irving. How about a Bloody Mary? You come up with your own conjecture of that, but I'm gonna go with SOD, Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die. Oh, I'm gonna get fired. Anyway, but I don't care. I love the album. It's meant to be offensive, and you have to find the humor in it. And if you don't, then you need to take the stick out of your backside.
You really do. It's hilarious and it's a good time. That was going to be my next pick, so I'll just talk with you here, Lou. But I honestly think that's like the greatest side project ever. It's just a brilliant album. The only thing that ruined it was them doing a second one.
Yeah, it was definitely. What was that one?
I heard that one first. Yeah, Bigger Than the Devil.
Oh, I'm surprised you went back and checked out the first. Honestly,
well, we had to. It was sad. There had to be something better.
I don't know. I liked it. I didn't mind.
I mean, Bigger Than the Devil.
I didn't know any better. I didn't.
They had some fun songs like the title track. I thought that the EP that they released after that, Seasoning the Obese, where they parodied Slayer and Manowar with Raise Your Swords, I thought that was better than the entire Bigger Than the Devil album. So I actually found a copy of Speak English or Die in the East Village. I think it was It was at the CD store across the street from Kim's Video. I can't remember what it was. It's not there anymore, but I found it in there, and I was like, "Oh, I have to hear this." And yeah, it's one of the shortest albums ever, so I must have listened to it 5 times on the way home. But I couldn't help but love it. It's like if Blazing Saddles were put to CD.
Yes. And with Danny Loker on bass and writing tunes, who was just great.
I met Lilker once, and he was cool as fuck. He was just like such a chill guy. He's probably high off his ass, which he normally is.
He was awesome, but we did acid together, and I don't remember any of it after taking the tabs. So,
I'm happy for him that he must have made some nice coin, filling in for Frank in Anthrax when he toured South America with them. I'm sure they paid him handsomely for it. I hope they did. He is a founding member, so good that he got that respect. And apparently just recently at the Milwaukee Metal Fest, there was, I'm not going to call it a reunion because it was Charlie, Scott, and Danny with Jamie from Hatebreed playing.
Oh, that probably sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie could do it, but I don't know what happened between them and Billy Milano. I think he was mad that SOD never became a full-time thing. So he probably can't stand Scott for that. Apparently there was he said in an interview once, he said, Vinny Stigma of Agnostic Front went up to Billy after Speak English or Die came out and he said, just remember, we're your family. He told him that he meant the New York hardcore scene was his family, which kind of showed that there was a division, obviously between metal and hardcore. And Billy Milano ended that statement with, and Vinny was right, because I still talk to Vinny, but I don't talk to them, which is sad. But, I mean, Anthrax were on Megaforce and distributed through Atlantic. I mean, they weren't going to blow it. They were making coin. What can you do?
You could never replicate Speak English or Die or even turn that into a career, though. I mean, that is the perfect one and done record, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Which is why, Bigger Than the Devil, as good as some of the songs might have been, didn't have the same impact. And you waited 14 years?
The tour was awesome, but that album doesn't. Well, okay. If I could pick one song off of it and say it's on par with the first album, I'd probably go School Bus, honestly. That one kind of had the energy of Speak English or Die. Hey.
I think your dog disagrees with you.
It appears that way.
I think your dog is a big fan of Celtic Frosted Flakes or King at the King.
That's right.
I'll have a Whopper with no pickles and apple pie. I'll take it.
Dude, I thought that was so stupid when I first heard it.
Yeah. I chuckled.
Yeah. I can laugh at it now, but it wasn't even that they were, making fun of King. It was just like, this is so terrible.
It was dumb as hell.
Yeah. But now I get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
Greg,
Celtic Frosted Flakes is good.
I had it on CD and I saw
Although,
it. I wish I didn't.
What always upset me about that song is before that album came out, for whatever reason, I had written my own version of lyrics to Celtic Frost the Usurper with serial-based lyrics. And I was like, they stole my idea, even though really similar at all when everything was said and done. But.
What's up, Wayne?
Do you have another pick, Greg? Oh, Stan just fell off the moon.
Hey, Space Cowboy, take it easy over there.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this one before, but it's such a great album. More people should hear it, and it's a shame that they don't. But Oysterhead with Les from Primus
and Stuart Copeland
and Trey from Fish, who I can't stand, but he's great in Oysterhead. honestly some of my favorite drumming ever. Them three guys really locked together, and that is
Yeah.
a monster album. Not
I don't
metal by the slightest means, but
nah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't get Fish, but I know they have a legion of fans out there.
that's because you and I aren't retired junkies and we
Oh.
paid.
Fair enough, but I do think Trey's a great guitar player, and that's great that he was able to come out with something that I enjoyed listening to with a rhythm section. Who, man, that's like a rhythm section made in heaven. Stuart Copeland and Les Claypool, hell yeah.
You know, when I first read about it, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to sound, but I was excited for it anyway. But as soon as I bought that CD and put it on, exceeded all of my expectations.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of us felt. We didn't know what to expect, but Les is known to pull surprises.
And honestly, Stuart Copeland, amazing. Such a well-rounded drummer.
Probably my second favorite drummer after Neil Peart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
Cool. You're in the top 5, Wayne. You're fine.
I'm not that
good. You're humble. I dig it. Yeah. But yeah, that's one everyone should really check out, especially if you like Primus. I wouldn't really say if you're a Fish fan, though, just because what they actually do is just so
better.
Yeah. Well, they're so odd. Even when people compare the Dead to them, who I'm not really a fan of either, it's just I don't know. Fish is really different. And I like some jam bands, but there's just something weird about them where I just don't get it.
I would. Do you consider Government Mule a jam band?
Yeah.
I mean, they're also a side project of Warren Haynes, who's a member of the Allman Brothers Band. I saw them live. Their show was 3 hours. I wasn't bored for 1 second. That band could play forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when I went to see Zappa play Zappa. Granted, Frank's been dead for quite some time now, but Dweezil's good, and it was most of the original. Well, not most of the original, but there was quite a few members in the band that were in the Mothers and then his touring bands in the 70s. And I mean, they locked right in, and the jams were amazing. I just sat there until the sun came up if they'd have let them play that long.
Union overtime fees ruins it for everyone. All right, Wayne.
All right. This band, Savage Circus. This first album, this is a side project, by the way, of Pete Silk from Iron Savior.
Mm-hmm.
The first album features Thomas Stouch from Blind Guardian on drums.
Killer.
And this, if you missed the way Blind Guardian used to sound, that's what this album sounds like. This album sounds like that too, but Thoman's not on this album. But they both sound like old school Blind Guardian. So if you haven't heard this and you really miss the old Blind Guardian sound, that's not so like operatic and crap like they are today, you really need to check out at least this first album. This is my favorite one, but this one's really good too. They're both really, really, really good. So if you like the power metal stuff, you need to really check that out. I want to speed this up so we're not doing this for like 3 hours.
Sure.
So what else you got, Stan? Quickly.
Okay. I don't even know where the fuck to start with this one, but years ago, the guy from what's his face, the guy from Hypocrisy.
Oh, Peter Tägtgren.
Peter Tägtgren, whatever. I could never pronounce his last name. He teamed up with the singer from Rammstein, Till.
Oh, Lindemann.
And they did that Lindemann project, and there are so many fucking things that are wrong with this. I mean, this is one of those like albums that you shouldn't tell somebody you like, just for like fear of judgment or something. This is like some weird. I don't even know where the fuck to start, but it's so goddamn catchy and melodic, and it's like song after song, just like nonstop earworms everywhere. But it just the entire album sounds like it's high on adrenaline and like absinthe or something, and every drug known to man. It's just until sings in English, and it sounds so offensive and so funny at the same time. And there's like songs about ladyboys, being fat, and golden showers, cowboy, which is like Brokeback Mountain meets Mad Max or something. It's fucking ridiculous, but it's actually somehow worse than the lyrics that Rammstein writes. So it's just,
But not as good as the
I,
Mentors.
I don't know how you could golden shower. It's like this guy's like channeling R. Kelly or something. I don't know, but
El
it's
Duce beat him to it about 25 years previous.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
but it's I think musically this is like very industrial. It sounds like Peter's other band, like Pain.
Uh-huh.
It kind of has that sort of sound to it, and but musically it's really good. It's like the other two picks that I had. Everything just sounds nice, cohesive, tight. Songs are very structured very well. It's just the lyrics are just fucking ridiculous. That's all. I
I
mean,
like it too.
and until because he's not singing in German, it just he may sound a little weird, like like when he's singing English, because
It sounds weird singing in German too, Stan.
I don't know. Honestly, man, I actually think he's a really good singer.
Oh, I love Rammstein. So, like,
I really think that he's definitely one of the best singers in the entire genre. But when he's just singing in English, because it's not his native language, it just sounds really funny. Like,
That's why I love Schmear and Destruction. About the only band in the world that could make a song called Mad Butcher, and he sounds like he's singing My Butcher the whole
time. Crazy Germans. But yeah, it's if you like industrial music, check it out. It's really cool. It's really funny. And yeah, that's it. I mean, like Peter does like good work too. Like Pain is really good. Hypocrisy is good. And
he produced Joe Lynn Turner's last album too.
And he's a good producer. Like he's got his own sound. He's got a yeah. I mean, like these two. I think they did another album, and then they just decided to call it quits. Yeah, but this but the debut is obviously the better one, and yeah. So if you like humor, if you like industrial metal, you probably dig this. If you like Rammstein, you like this. So
Rammstein.
Lou. Yeah. All
right. So I'm gonna pick a band. Greg, I know you're not a fan, especially of the 90s output of what this lead singer did with them, and I respect that. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick the band Down, which consists of Phil Anselmo from Pantera, Kirk Windstein of Crowbar, also Todd Strange at the time of Crowbar, Pepper from COC, and Jimmy Bauer from I Hate God. That first album, NOLA, 14, 50 years old, where I was probably at my most teen angst. I really love this album, and at the time I would have said that I thought they were better than Pantera, which is funny considering that the last album Pantera did before Down was Far Beyond Driven, which is still to this day my favorite of the 90s era. But Down reminded me of Black Sabbath Volume 4, which we discussed in length last week, which it's still my second favorite Sabbath album with Ozzy. But Down's NOLA really reminded me of it to a point where it's like I found beauty in the ugliness of it, and I thought that there was just something there that it wasn't like anything I was hearing on the radio at the time, because of the radio all they were playing was like Green Day, Pearl Jam, and they were still playing Nirvana to no end, and every band that they tried to sign that sounded just like them. So you know, Downs Nola was like a break from that. I think the only metal band that I was hearing on radio at the time was probably Typo Negative, and they were still playing Black Number One and Christian Woman. So it was good to hear Downs' first album at that time. And I'm a fan of their two albums that came out after that, Down 2, A Bustle in Your Hedgerow, and the third album, Over the Under. And I actually saw them on that tour, and they did like a 2.5 hour show where they just played nothing but like all the material from 3 albums. And what opened for them was like a 45-minute like collection of like the bands from the 70s that influenced them. So, you saw Skynyrd, you saw Black Sabbath. It was my first exposure to Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. And they played the concert clip of him doing All Along the Watchtower. And that's when I became obsessed with Frank Marino. And apparently he's one of Kirk Winstein's biggest influences, them and UFO. So, I think it's obvious who my favorite member in Down is. So, I have a lot to be thankful to him for. And I'm going to pick Down as my third favorite side project.
That's a good one. I liked the first album.
Never got into.
I'll be honest with you, because I really don't like the other ones that follow that. Well, I like just about anything Pepper's in, but Nola is really similar to a couple other bands I liked a lot at the time, like Buzz Oven and Weed Eater. Not that I mean, don't get me wrong. That's not like what they're trying to riff on or anything. It's just I already liked stuff like that, so I picked up on Nola pretty quick. But and Selma's it comes.
Fair enough. All right, your pick.
So I'm just gonna name the next two. First one's a little obscure, but do you guys know the band Stars?
No. Oh, from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're okay. I was never super nuts about them, but John, Uncle Saxon, played me an EP, which was a side project by about 4 of the members called Hellcats. That is just awesome hard rock. It's only about 5 songs, but everyone should definitely go check out that EP. Great guitar work. The lyrics aren't groundbreaking, but they were smoking cocaine for pick-me-ups and drinking champagne from Dixie cups. And there's a song about being in love with a car. It's just wild. It could only come out in 1981, and it's a great EP. The odd thing about that, though, is both of their follow-up albums were all acoustic, which I didn't understand. But that was actually.
What's the name of the EP?
It's just called Hellcats. All right. And then my next pick, which I want to say he did it after he formally left Sepultura, but Max Cavalera, Nail Bomb. Yeah. Point Blank. Yeah, I love that album. Little industrial, little tribal, all around badass.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Which funny thing is I kind of feel like Soulfly was born out of that, but I never quite liked Soulfly as much as I did Nail Bomb.
No good.
I really kind of think he should have done something else after that first Soulfly record.
I don't really hear any similarity between Nail Bomb and Soulfly.
There isn't.
No.
I feel like tonally it was kind of born out of that, but no, musically it's not really similar, but Soulfly is closer to Nail Bomb than it is Sepultura.
That is a good one.
So this show can go pretty quickly. I'm just going to finish off my list
that
here.
Was the end of mine, so.
All right. The band Lard, which is Jello Biafra and Al Jorgensen. Really good stuff. I know. I just happened to find these albums like a long time ago in like the used bins, and I'm like, holy shit, I totally forgot about that band. And these are really, really good CDs. If you like industrial, Really good stuff. Things that like I would never thought like Jello would really sound good with like industrial music, but it actually does work.
I'll be honest, I never thought I could like his voice on anything just because he's so irritating.
It's so
in the
weird.
Dead Kennedys, but
Yeah.
it works really well on Lard.
It really does. And just some obvious ones. Temple of the Dog.
Yes, that was my honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audio Slave. I love these 3 albums. You know, I mean, the first one's the best one, but anything Chris Cornell does, I like, except for that one album that he did was like R&B. That was terrible. This band, you like that one?
I like a lot of R&B.
I didn't like that one at all. This album, this is a band called Beautiful Sin, and the drummer that used to be in Halloween, Uli Kush, he did this band after he left Halloween. Really cool, and sounds like Halloweenish, you know, but the first song, Lost, is actually a song that was on the Dark Ride album, but he changed because he wrote that song, so he changed all the lyrics to it, and it's a completely different song on this album. What the hell? Departed Son is the Halloween song, and the song on here is called Lost. So it's really cool.
I can appreciate you picking Lard with Al Jurgensen and Jello Biafra, but I can't stand a singer that sounds like Bullwinkle Moose. I'm sorry, he sounds like Bullwinkle to me.
He does, but that's what makes him him.
The holiday in Cambodia, Rocky.
I love the band The Killers. Brandon Flowers, the vocalist, did some solo albums, so these are his 2. This one's really, really good. I can go with this one. This one took me a long time to get into. It's more modern. A lot of God, I don't even know. Just a lot of music that I really don't listen to is on this album, but there are some really, really cool songs. A lot of horns and stuff on here, but it's still it's cool. And this one I just picked up last week. I totally forgot about this band. It's called Slave to the System. And this has Scott Rockenfeld from Queensryche, Kelly Grave when he was in Queensryche, and 2 guys from Brother Kane, Damon Johnson and Roman Glick, and some other guy, Scott Hurd. I'm not sure who he is, but he's the vocalist. Really, really good. It's more modern rock type stuff, but it's really, really good.
I was just listening to Brother Kane this morning. They were such a good band.
Well, if you like that, you'll like this.
All right.
Because I was just listening because I don't remember what they sounded like, and I just was listening before, and it's pretty close. But this was good. This was released in like 2005. So Queensryche released Tribe, and after this came Operation Mindcrime 2. So this sounds better than both of those albums. I don't even know.
Well, that ain't exactly hard.
No, I know, but I was shocked because I saw this and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it because it was only like $7. I want to see what it sounds like, and I was shocked. It actually is very, very good.
Yeah, Brother Kane was the best thing about the Halloween 6 film. The one song that contributed to the soundtrack.
I don't remember what it was.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, that movie is terrible.
Yeah, I still have to see the producer's cut. I heard that's better.
It's better, but the whole Call to Thorn and all that crap, they should have never done that. That was stupid.
Which is why they dropped it.
Yes.
Stan, you got any other mentions?
Is Audio Slave considered a side project?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I would consider them a side project. Rage Against the Machine, I think they were still kind of around.
No, they were broken up at that point.
They were broken up. Yeah.
But look, I mean, if we gave Stan amnesty on his first pick, I'll allow Audio Slave too. So,
well, no, I mean, Wayne mentioned Audio Slave because he bought the albums, and I thought, wait, that's a side project.
But see, I also consider with Chris Cornell having his own solo thing. I don't know. It is weird.
Right, you know
I'll edit it out. Forget it. Forget I even said it.
No. Hey, look.
Here, wait.
I looked on
forget it
online, and they. Oh Jesus Christ, you dickhead! If people were, some people say Velvet Revolver was a side project of Scott Weiland of STP and Slash from Guns N' Roses. I'm like, wasn't Slash fired from Guns N' Roses by that point? But okay, whatever floats your boat.
Right. I was going to name them too, but it definitely wasn't Scott and Weiland band.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna move quick. I just got to.
Please do.
I'm gonna go with Chicken Foot.
Oh God.
Chicken Foot 3. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, all right. Let's wrap this up.
Sammy takes it up the ass. Do da.
All right. Chicken Foot 3. Dad Rock. Awesome songs. Anyway. I'm gonna move
You
on.
could have at least picked Aronson, Hagar, and Schoen.
Yes, I
come
would've-
on, let's pick something that's actually decent.
I would have
Dude,
picked
I love-
HSAS.
I fucking love Chickenfoot 3. Come on, give me a break. Anyway,
No, what's wrong with you?
and then the other one is Traveling Wilburys.
Oh, that was on my list too.
That's a
Didn't I
good
show that?
pick.
I didn't show that. I had it right here. That was stupid of me.
You know, I
Left
know
it right there.
I know they did a second album, but I don't count that because Roy Orbison died. So like the first album, I mean, you know, it's great. Like, you know, you got, you know, Harrison, Dylan, Petty, Orbison, Lynn. I mean, that's a super group right there.
Yeah, it's
lots
good
of
stuff.
lots of cool songs there, and you know, it's like you know, obviously, you know, you can't continue without Roy Orbison. You know, he's dude had one of the best voices on that album. So like, you know, you just can't. It's not the same thing. But yeah, so those are my you know, those are my last two. I mean, is Black Country Communion a side project?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right, so that first album, and that's it. That's all I got.
I'll
And-
pick one. Sorry,
yes.
go ahead, Zane.
And I was gonna say that the Black Country Communion stuff it was produced by Kevin Shirley, who's now famously or infamously known to do the Maiden stuff. And you know how everyone likes to complain that the Maiden stuff sounds like shit, and it does. But you know, to Kevin's credit, like the stuff that he does outside Maiden, you know, especially with Black Country Community, it sounds fucking great.
I agree with that.
So you know, let's just shift the blame to Steve Harris instead. And leave
we
Kevin-
do.
I honestly, I don't care what anybody says. Senjutsu is one of the best albums, sound wise and writing wise. The
I
past
think so,
20
too.
years.
Writing wise,
Mhm.
yes, I agree. I mean, I love that album too, but it just the sound of it is just I don't
That's
know,
the
man.
best they've sounded since Brave New World.
Yeah,
That
I
is true,
agree.
but
Yeah.
still, it's just I don't know. It just sounds like it was recorded in a garage or something.
I don't hear that.
Anyway,
Better
all
than
right,
me in a
let's go.
barnyard.
At all.
Let's-
Yeah,
let-
You're
let-
right.
let's
Better
move
than
on.
the barnyard. Yet
um,
you like Invincible Shield. That sounds like a robot wrote it.
I still haven't heard that record.
Really?
You really don't need to.
It sounds like a deodorant.
I mean, I'm afraid to like listen to it because Firepower was so
I
wow.
never gave that a thought.
Because Firepower was so good.
They should have stopped with Firepower. They really should have.
Yeah,
We could talk about Invincible Shield next week.
that's fine. I'll say one last.
Venom.
Wayne already said Temple of the Dog, and I agree with him on that. That's my favorite Pearl Jam record. Fuck Eddie Vedder. I'm gonna go with Brian May and Friends Starfleet. Because I mean that one song alone, to have all that talent on one song and it sound as good as it does. I mean, Brian May did wonders on that song. And how can you not love an homage to a British Japanese puppet show?
Sure.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
You say so?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, since you mentioned that, I'll throw out an honorable mention to Gillian's Inn.
That's a good one.
That was a great record. I mean, him and Iommi riff on Trashed again, and that could be an episode by itself, though. We won't go into it and all the different guest stars he had, but if you like Ian Gillan, you should definitely check that out.
I was
What
shocked.
was that, Greg? What was that you said?
Gillen's in.
Oh,
Gillian's
Gillen's.
Inn.
Okay, I got that album. Yeah, dude. Is that solo that Jeff Healey did on When a Blind Man Cries?
Mhm.
That's fucking fire, bro. Oh my god,
Awesome.
Just that is. Woo. I consider this version to be better than the original. In my opinion.
By the way,
I
in
have
the
to
chat,
think about that, but
in the chat, Alexander Ramirez. Hey guys from South America. Hello from North America.
what's up, dude?
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Unfortunately, you joined us while we're leaving.
Yeah.
But you can also go back and watch the whole show if you want to. Anything else?
No, it's
Severed
heater
Angel.
time.
Oh, wrong album.
Having
wrong
a nip
album.
fit.
Severed Angel, new album. Buy it. SeveredAngel.com or Linktree/Severed Angel.
Or severedangel.bandcamp.com or
That
Rocks
too.
Records, rocksrecords.com, right?
Yes. Or Amazon.
Or Amazon or
We need to
whatever.
sell out of this first pressing so we have a reason to put it on vinyl, people.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. And then hit subscribe to this channel. And we'll be back next week. And tomorrow on Almost Human Live, which I'm also a part of, we are going to have Chris Caffery. If I can pronounce that
Try
correctly.
saying that
Chris
again.
Caffery from Sabotage and TSO on for an interview. So join us for
Oh,
that
that's
at
awesome.
8 p.m. Eastern.
$10, Tony Dio dominates the conversation.
Most likely. Yeah, I think he will. But yeah, that's it. That it?
Rock on, fellas. Yep. that's
Chee-wee-wees.
all.
Wee wee.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, later.
Hit subscribe.